under the control of not just Perry, but from my understanding, Mexico. And a lot of these people are taking their orders from Mexico. Okay? And so that's one of the reasons they want to cut off Texas, because there is no revival, is what they said. But on the Swiss side, very little people. But I didn't hear it as much as what I'm hearing now, but I did hear that Perry, what he told, or what Castro told, and he said Castro had an habitual liar in him, but what he told the people is that they were fighting Obama because Obama wanted to hurt us. And so, again, let me say, some of the folks' emotions are so shocked too. Right now, they really don't know who's fighting who. They don't know, people wanting to change because now racism have come in. A lot of folks are changing because of racism. They were deeply involved in what was going on, and they were part of the hazing, but racism came in, and so they turned and began to fight. And I believe that was also Obama's situation. I'm just giving you the news as it comes to me, that he was the one that took some of the money, and he was aware of what was going on. But only in the end, from my understanding, that last group of money that was collected, a lot of this money that was collected was legal because the people went to court, and it was filed in court, even though I didn't file charges, criminal charges. But there was some, and to my understanding, it was a bright idea of Sheila. They brought him to court, and Obama. They brought him to court, and they judged him accordingly, and they were sentenced to have money instead of going to jail. And so they paid their money. Some of the actors got off that way too. They paid their money, and the money is sitting in jail, and that's the money that not in jail, the money is sitting in court, and that's the money that they've been stealing. And I believe that they said the Judge Hans was 32. He and his wife took some. The German lady that I keep talking about, I don't know if she works for housing or FBI, but they said she took some overseas to Germany when she stepped into the case. She was not in it in the beginning, but she took some of the money. And so the money is being built up, taken from the people, from the citizens. This money, and the reason why they feel like they can take it is because some are saying the way they came to court, which was not because I filed charges, but because they knew. They investigated. When legal investigated, they began to tell the truth. They began to tell who was involved. And so they went after who was involved, not by just what they said, but what they saw on cameras and also from the telephone. And so they began to go out and get these people and bring them to court on trial. They placed them on trial according to what they knew, which is legal. But because I didn't press charges, they felt like this was their money. And all the time they were saying, Obama said, no, we're gonna put it in the account for Miss Campbell. But again, they said his intentions in the beginning was to take the money out for himself. He asked for the money the first time, and they gave it to him. And then the second time, he asked for the money, and they refused him. Because again, in their mind, this is their money. And so many attacks that came against Obama in his name that they felt like that they was not gonna, honor him like they were honoring him at first. And again, Obama took the money, according to news, and he put it overseas somewhere. So the money is going, I don't know if it's behind Africa, because sometimes you will know to look in Africa. I also understand that a lot of American money outside of this embezzlement was going over into Kenya to help reestablish it, to help build it. Also, the people around the world, as you know, this embezzlement was great. They began to dig, and they found a lot of folks involved, and it included people from other countries. The money was going out of the country, and they were doing it for their personal need and for favors. And so we're in a deficit now. See, how much news can I get on one tape? Amen. How much news can I get on one tape? There are a lot of folks involved in this. And again, these little boys. And again, this is not just San Antonio boys. This is Baptists that were called from East Coast especially. So a lot of you are looking down in the San Antonio records. I don't know if they brought them down in San Antonio, but I do know that a lot of San Antonio was involved, but a lot of them got off. And most of the ones that went in were the ones from the East Coast. And so we're looking in San Antonio file, and this was too big. This is Baptists go all the way around the world. And so you have to know that the money went all the way around the world. They went to support themselves. And Michael had access just like FBI. He has access to our telephones. He has access to our lives. He knows a lot. Some of them, they have access to the keys to our homes, our apartments, our taxes. etc. My telephone bill, some of you understand that I had to hide my number for the longest until my daughter, she stepped in and called my mother. And I didn't want her to call my mother because I didn't want my phone tapped. I went and got a little geeky phone. And so that's one of the reasons I haven't given some of you the telephone number that's been asking for it. Because it was a private number until 2 days ago. And I don't know if it's being hacked now. But I know there's a guy that works at Cricket, I hear. I don't know if he's doing it because of Castro or Michael. He's a black guy. And I saw him following me into the pawn shop. They're still trying to get people to not service me. And what's supposed to have been just San Antonio is attempting to go international. How can we clear it up? The Lord is going to clear it up. It's already cleared up. I just believe that eventually it's all going to be erased. Nothing they've done has affected me and will affect me. That's what I put out there to Michael Brown. And so, again, I think this little boy's death has a lot to do with them too. This is criminal. The death of that little boy is criminal. That is not something that just is criminal, and a lot of times want to leave things alone because of dedication. They're trying to hide. I know they probably do something to my little puppy because they had to hide the evidence, but he had chemical in it. In fact, the second one told me he had chemical in him. But he wanted to see what type of chemical. That's what the $300-some was going to be. They were going to take a blood test to see what type of chemical was in him. He looked at him and he said straight up he had some type of chemical in him. And so I already knew it was chemical. I said, okay. I couldn't afford at the time the $300-something. The IRS is still holding the money. I don't know if they're a part of the embezzlement or if they're holding it to get it straight. My understanding also is that the IRS, when there's an embezzlement case, they have to even out the books, and that's why they're involved. Let's see. I think I've said everything that I can say. CIA is not directly involved to do harm. Something that was stressed. The FBI is trying to do comeback. I felt like a lot of FBI agents was there to help. There's some police officers, y'all, that have been there for a long time helping, and they were Caucasian police officers, so I thank God for them. But then there's one who's got a lot of hatred in his heart, and that's where it stemmed from. I also heard that the one that was involved with killing the puppies are gone. They just say he's not there anymore. And it did start, according to some, there was a mixture of people that joined together, and it was a tap-up. I don't know. It's a long story. But I wanted you to understand the news today. I just want y'all to be careful, stay in prayer, stay in prayer, stay in prayer. Keep everyone lifted up in prayer that the Lord would take control. They're forced to do something now. Yeah, they were running from the Baptists, but they're forced to do something now. I want y'all to continue to keep seeing the bus situation and how they both went to the back of the bus to move the girl. I was the only one on the bus. That's the question I want to answer. Some folks ask, were you the only one on the bus? Yes. That's the question. In fact, they both went to the back and woke the girl up back there and said something to her. I don't know what they said to her. I couldn't hear her, but I know she went off the bus and I was on there with just a white guy. And I thought it would be CIA, but from my understanding, CIA is not directly, I don't know who he was and what he was there for. At one time I did hear that it was CIA. But now I'm being told no, that Obama got in it. His emotions keep flipping. Him and Michelle's have their own issue. And it has a lot to do with Obama being on them internets at nighttime. Amen. It has a lot to do with Obama being on the internet at nighttime. And get off the internet, his little girls teaching them how to mess up people's computer and how to stop them, how to control them. Them little babies up there playing with computers, y'all. Y'all need to get them. Obama's teaching them how to be bad. Yeah, but he just joined in the end, y'all, from my understanding. Now, he was there when it started, but he backed up off of it. He actually was listening to rumors, too, and he began to fight them. So, y'all pray on the information. Oh, Wendy Houston. Y'all know Whitney's death was a drowning. I said it on yesterday. Whitney's death was a drowning. And Marvin Sapp had a little bit more to do with it than we're trying to say is what I also heard. He was the one. I don't erase any information I gave from the past. I'm just sprucing it up. And that his was a little control. He had a little control issue too, like Michael. They wanted to control me. But he also had a little firmness, in his love, whatever compassion that he has. Marvin Sapp. Oh, the girl that was on the internet that we said was his producer, she was just an angry client. That's what she was, an angry client. So y'all have to pray for her, that the Lord lifts her up. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, 6. I'm going to upload this so y'all can get the news.